Well, good morning, folks. A beautiful morning it is, too. Nice big field of flowers off to my side. Nice breeze coming in from the back. That's not bad. Blue skies and a whole lot of countryside ahead of me. I'm leaving Decorah, Iowa, and what a pleasant little city that is. Here in the Driftless area of Iowa. This whole stretch has been in the Driftless area. Just gorgeous stuff. It looks like we've got ourselves a funky little bike path here to help us get out of town. A cool morning. Not as cool as yesterday, but I imagine it's not gonna get too hot today. I'm kind of getting into that part of the year where we start to get the perfect temperatures. It's the end of August, August 31st. Boy, I just love this time of the year. Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna get over to my car today. This will be the last day of bike touring for a little while, at least for a couple of weeks. And then I'm on to Slovenia with my kids, which is fantastic. Anyhow, here we go. Another day in paradise. Happy trails. The birds seem particularly lively this morning. What a gorgeous road. This is really pretty through here. Super quiet. Birds are all aflutter. Flowers and forested. Just coming out of town. Some colors changing too. It's a beautiful day. US 52 for a little ways. Bit of a shoulder. Got a rumble strip between me and the traffic and a nice bailout. Still in the Driftless area scenic route, I guess is what they call it. Hope this doesn't last too long. Doesn't look like it will. All right, here we go.
It had been an incredible ride here in the Driftless, but it was time to point my bike north toward Preston, Minnesota, where my car was waiting for me, and home, where Julianna was waiting for me.
Into this soft gravel, let the trucks pass. Just too narrow of a shoulder here. Not good. Well, that's a little better. Dumped me off on this, I assume it's the old highway, the old 52. Looks like a regular old 1920s, 1930s highway. Give me a chance to look at some of this gorgeous farmland, all these beautiful crops. How about all that? You just gotta love this stuff, right? Have to get back on 52 a little bit up the road, it looks like, but not for very long. That was only for a couple miles. Boy, I love this, I just love this life. I do, you know. It's been kind of lonely, I got to admit. It's been lonely without Julianna, but you get on the bike and all your cares are washed away. How you doing? Morning.
It's amazing what a difference a side road can make. No anxiety-inducing traffic, no ear-splitting trucks hurtling by at 70. Just clean, quiet, open views of the ever-unfolding Iowa countryside.
I don't think the camera sees how pretty this is. I'm just saying, there's no way you can really capture the feeling of being out in this wide open space. Just the gently rolling hills that go off for so long. I feel like in the camera, I'm looking at the lens and all I can see is flat, you know? No real features, but everywhere I look, it's just beautiful, just gorgeous. And I'm telling you, such an ideal way to ride, to be able to just be out here in the middle of a brand new landscape that you've never experienced before. And just the sound of the birds and the insects and the various other noises, farm machinery, tractors, cows mooing, wind in the trees. There's the cicadas. Just starting up. You hear the wind through the corn, the rustling. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. All right, so Kamut has found another route off of US 52. I had to get back on the highway for a little bit. This is on gravel, but nice and quiet. A little loose, but it'll be okay as long as it doesn't get too hilly. But I missed the turn. I had to backtrack about a couple hundred yards. And I realized, sure enough, I'm riding with a tailwind. As I turned around, I could feel the breeze. Not much, but you usually don't notice a tailwind. It kind of just helps you along quietly. Turning around helped me appreciate what I got this morning. I'm gonna take advantage of it, try to use it for as long as I can. It's the little things, you know, that make a big difference.
And that's how I spent my morning, rumbling through the gravel, turning my head from side to side to take in this rolling carpet of generative bounty. Feeling so lucky to be here, magically transported from some small house in Denver to such a strange, remote, and unlikely spot on the globe, and reveling in my good fortune to be able to spend my day in such a still and simple paradise.
Found a little shady spot here. That is so nice. Near a farm. Looks like we're gonna work around some river bottomlands of some sort. And I'm just taking in that breeze. That is at my back. How about that? And it looks like I got my first competition for road space. Now she gotta be wondering what I'm doing here. Just enjoying the shade. Getting some climbing out of the way early, it looks like. Just a sensationally great way to kind of get into the deep little pockets of Iowa here. So quiet. It's kind of hard. A lot of hills, gravel, slippery, but boy, is it ever worth it. It's just so worth it. Love this country. He comes running out. Where are you? Where are you, little fella? Sniffing up my tires. Just trying to see what's going on, huh? Yeah, he was all excited. I thought, oh, he might chase me, but no. He's just a friendly old pooch. He's a friendly guy. Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Oh, that's okay. Came to a crossroads, but it looks like we're just gonna go straight ahead and stay on the dirt. I wonder how long this dirt's gonna last. This will slow us down quite a bit, but that's okay. This is beautiful. Love it. One car's passed me. See, these are the kind of bike trails. This is as good as a dirt rail trail. And yeah, you share it with cars, but hardly any cars. And the fact is the whole country is networked with these, at least the eastern part of the country, is networked with these little farm roads, which get no traffic. And I think if people could tell that there was a better bicycle route system with all these roads, maybe people would ride more. I don't know. That's a great way to go. You don't have to ride on the shoulder all the time, that's for sure. Some things stand the test of time and some things just don't. So Kamut's saying I should take a left up here about a mile on State Line Road. That would be, of course, Minnesota State Line, I assume. So we're wrapping it up here in Iowa. But according to the map, there's a paved road about another couple of miles further up called the Amish Buggy Route or something like that, and the Laura Ingalls Wilder Route. I'll give you more details as I get closer, and that sounds like a lot more exciting to me. I'm starting to get a little hypnotized by all this gravel riding. It's definitely a little bit slower. You just can't get up to speeds, you know? So I think I'm gonna opt for some pavement. All right. We're on State Line Road. feel like I've been here before. Minnesota, Iowa. Minnesota, Iowa. Pretty little spot. Getting kind of hot, warmish day. A lot of gravel. Debating whether to jump onto this highway, but it is, a U.S. highway, so it's going to impact things. Traffic, which I like to avoid. So I guess I'll stick on this for a while. I think I can always opt for the highway later if I need to. If I make it to Harmony, well, if I make it to Harmony, when we make it to Harmony, from then on it'll be rail trail all the way into Preston. Until then, I think it's going to be all of this gravel stuff. Slow going, but boy, it's really pretty out here. And I got a tailwind, so I have got no reason to complain. So, no complaints. Into Minnesota now. State Highway 44. Already seeing a few trucks on it. I can bail on this thing in about a mile or two if it just isn't any good. So I just need some smooth pavement for a bit. Well, traffic's worse, but nice wide shoulder. Kind of like the quieter way better. It's a little less frantic. Well, here's something I haven't seen much on this trip at all, is just flat roadway, just cruising along at a very even keel. I guess on the Root River it was pretty flat, but mostly it's been ups and downs of some sort. I also see why this shoulder is so darn wide, and that would have to do with the fact that this is where the Amish buggies ride. Looks like it might be an Amish farm, very simple, kind of rustic. But with this shoulder and a little bit of a tailwind and flat surfaces, this is great. Looks a little like Lake Wobegon.
When I reached Canton, I decided to stop and look for a nice place to take a rest and enjoy a bit of lunch. It was a Thursday, late morning, and the town was quiet, but certainly not dead. And just my luck, I found a city park, with shade even. Nice.
I found a nice little table here in the town of Canton. I wonder if that's been there all day. Found this nice little table here in Canton. Nice shaded spot. Here in the tiny little town park. Perfect place to cool off, rest my legs, get a little bit of calorie intake.
And then I was off. Now that I knew my trip was up, I had a bit more urgency in my pedal stroke, and as much as I was regretting leaving this Garden of Eden, I was now anxious to get home. I love a good adventure, but I also love the comforts of home. Adventure, comfort, the two living side by side in perfect, well, you get my drift.
All right, here in Harmony, Minnesota, picked up a couple of tiny little gifts for Julianna in some of the cute little shops along here in downtown. Now I'm just getting ready to start on the the Preston Harmony Rail Trail. It's the last stretch of the trip. So maybe another, 10, 15 miles? No, maybe even 10. But yeah, it starts right here and it's all rail trail for the rest of the way. Beautiful day, probably high 70s, low 80s, maybe at the worst, and just a lovely little breeze, just keeping things kind of cool. a great way to finish this tiny little trip. Too bad. Too bad these things have to come to an end, right? It's never great when you know you're coming to the end of your trip. But at any rate, here we go. Let's get on that trail. Let's go get them.
As the Harmony-Preston Valley Trail leaves town, it's not immediately obvious just how pretty this trail is. But as you head north, you quickly find yourself embraced by lovely patches of woods and open views of the surrounding farmland. Since the trail deviates from the rail grade early on, you'll find some stretches of short, sharp climbs that can definitely take you by surprise. But again, the trail eventually finds its way to a gentle and consistent grade. Every time you set your wheels on a trail, or a road, or a route of any kind, it's a different ride. That same 10-mile segment that you rode yesterday can feel entirely different tomorrow. The weather, the season, the time of day, the way the light hits, and even the energy that you yourself bring, all create a unique experience. But today, in late August, with the temperatures high but the humidity dry, a gentle breeze stirring the leaves and the off-and-on canopy overhead, I felt transported. It was as if the memories of past childhood summers came to bring me back to experience the timelessness of a perfect day with nothing to do but breathe in the beauty and perfection of the here and now. It's become a bit of a crazy world, so much strife, so much fighting among ourselves, fear of the future, loss of trust. But it seems that none of this can find me here in this Emerald Valley, this Garden of Eden, this little slice of paradise. This is why we ride, to find calm and clear purpose in a world far too complicated, to find healing and to find meaning and to find peace. At just 18 miles, the Harmony-Preston Valley State Trail on its own is no epic ride, but as an extension of the Root River Trail, it helps to create over 60 miles of some of the most serene riding one can imagine. Entirely paved with cozy villages every few miles and endless views of the gentle river, the bluffs, and the sweet-smelling forests, this system is one of the finest I've ever ridden, and the Harmony-Preston Valley section certainly is no exception.
Well, we just made it to Preston, not at the trailhead yet, but made it to the road, and my day is just about done. My trip is just about done. What a gorgeous drop that was. What a lovely way to come back and finish the loop. But gorgeous, just lovely. Really a pretty day. Ah, so lucky.
The final couple of miles into Preston were a gentle downhill, and I sailed into the town along the most elegant pastoral landscapes. It felt like I was being given a perfect send-off. How long will it be before I can ride these trails again? Impossible to say. But until that time, the memories will have to suffice. I reached Preston by mid-afternoon. I knew that there was no rush, as the majority of my drive back to Denver would have to happen tomorrow in any case. So I made the brief detour up the south branch of the Root River, maybe to be able to say I'd cycled the entire Root River Trail system, or maybe just to do it. It would be my last hurrah, at least until I join up with my daughters in Slovenia in 2 weeks' time. It was, of course, beautiful.
Well, I think it's official. I can't go any further. That's it for today. That's it for this trip. It was a wonderful way to finish the day. A nice cruise into town, smooth downhill, little extra spur right outside of Preston. Dead ends right there. It's a lovely little trail. It's been a wonderful trip, enjoying this driftless area, this bluff country. Southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin. Could not recommend it more. Great trails, great routes, lovely scenery, hills. It's changing all the time. It's been a great week. Couldn't be happier. I think it's happy trails time. Love y'all. Oh my God, that is the steepest hill of my whole trip. Coming back to my car. Woo, lordy. Here we go.
I made it back to my car at the hotel next to the Casey's, across from the dollar store in Preston, Minnesota. And then I drove the 885 miles back home, where Julianna and Callie were waiting for me.